Joe Keys. I am the late bloomer. These are some good friends of mine from the Late Bloomer Band. Dave Cavalier, co-founder of the Late Bloomer Band. Mark with a C, Shapiro. In lieu of a couple of days ago was Mother's Day, and I wasn't able to see my mom, at least physically, but I see her from time to time, come through and visit me and check out my vibe. She may be here right now, you know what I mean? So this one is called Poem for Mommy. The proof of her existence shows in my father's face when he speaks of her. The tears that he held back for years, they flowed like a river on the day she died. You see, my mother is still here, doing the all work of Almighty God. And I see her in my older sister's smile, knowing all the while that Mommy is still watching over her. And me, sometimes I'm in rooms like this doing my thing, doing the video thing, vibing with my friends, and I can feel her spirit moving and grooving, loving and caring, doing the work of Almighty God. And her grandson, if he could just see her one more time, hold her, kiss her, hear those words, I love you, from her, he would be just fine. I guess he's just too young to understand that Grandma still got his hand. And my baby sister, I would have to write a book just to describe the look on her face when she says that word, Mommy. You see, my mother is still here. He has a master plan. Has a master plan. He has a master plan. The Creator has a master plan. The Creator has a master plan. He has a master plan. Has a master plan. He has a master plan. Thank you, fellas. The Late Bloomer Band, y'all.
Great, well thank you guys so much. So to introduce yourselves to our viewers at popculturemadness.com, can you share with us a little bit about, you know, the band and how things came together, about yourselves?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. I was running this jam session in Reisterstown in a place called Misho's, and me and the current bass player Carson and this guy named Blake, who played keys with us for a bit, Blake Mobley, who's in Denver now. I was running this jam session, and I met Joe a few weeks prior, and he lived in the area. He came by, and he liked it a lot because it wasn't like a lot of jam sessions you go to. It's like a lot of jazz standards and a lot of like things that are done over and over again to death. And Joe could just sort of get on stage and like hum a bass line, or you know, sort of just do his little conducting thing that he does, and we could all respond. So it was just a good mesh right off the start. And he said he wanted to do a show at Misho's, at the place where we were doing the jam session, so we put together a band, and the rest is history. So it all started at a jam session, really.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So how does it kind of grow from that into, you know, I mean, do you remember your first show?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It was great.
1 year ago, March 13th.
Yeah.
I had been playing with Dave and Carson before. We'd actually all played with Blake before. The three of us were in a band called The Res for about 4 years prior to the Late Bloomer Band's formation, at the same time of our formation actually as well. Yeah, I mean the first show, I mean we sold the place out. I mean I don't know if we were keeping track, but it was sold out. It was kind of our own. It was it was kind of low key in that way, but it was packed, and I mean it was like one of the tightest first shows I think. I mean definitely that I've ever played, and I've played with a few bands, but everyone just like, I don't know, it just fit real well. We had a great keyboardist. We have another guitar player who just like really knows his chops, and it all just came together really nice. Everyone was able to do their own thing. We rocked it out. It was a good time.
Yeah. Very good first show. For sure.
That's cool. Well, I'm sure you were able to feed off the energy of the room too. I know how important that is.
Yeah.
They say the more packed the house is, the more sweat that everybody's like out there.
And it was a tiny room too,
and it was a sit-down room at that. So really, it was like there were a lot of people sitting down at tables, and we had like a little small unit of people standing near the stage. But it was a really cool energy from like people who would just sit and listen and enjoy the band, and then people who like to get up and like dance and have fun and everything. But yeah, energy.
So you guys always trying to get the crowd up and moving and all that?
Oh yeah.
Not always. Sometimes we like them to listen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sometimes we like them to stand still or sit still for a minute and just listen and feel what's going on.
Yeah.
But Joe knows how to do that when we need to get a crowd going. Joe's as much a front man as he is a hype man and a band conductor, and so
Yeah, it's about like crowd participation almost more than crowd, like get up and dance and all that stuff. Because even if they're sitting down, they might still be singing along or just like clapping or anything, as long as they feel like they're part of it.
That's good. Well, I mean, I know you mentioned the audience, the participation and things, and I like to look at music as a universal language so that we can all speak and understand, even if we take different messages away from it. Is there a certain thing that you hope that your music speaks to listeners?
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, the debut of our first show, I call him my minister, friend, mentor, Reverend Malcolm Steele from Freehold, New Jersey, who I've known since I was in kindergarten. He's about 90 years old now, or close to it. But I call him before our big shows for some prayer and stuff. And he said to me in his prayer, he said, please let Joe Key's music be a part of the healing of all mankind.
Oh, wow.
That just set it off for me.
Set the bar kind of high.
That's it. Why not?
Yeah,
Why not set it high?
Yeah.
Well, music is therapeutic.
Yeah.
It's used as a tribute for things. It's one of the most beautiful tributes that you can do for somebody.
Yeah. Everyone in this band, if they don't play music for a few days, feels wrong. It feels like they need to pick up an instrument and play immediately. We all have jobs that like. Our guitarist is a guitar teacher. Carson and I work in a music shop. Mark writes for a website where he's constantly covering bands and reviewing bands. Like Joe worked at Guitar Center for years and followed around it. Like everyone in this band is just constantly around music all the time, and if it's not, then it just feels like something's wrong. Yeah.
I kind of agree with what the minister said there, I mean, I'm always like, now that I think about it, I've just always latched onto music, like, because I really, I mean, that, and it's just, I don't know, it's like, I don't know, it's one of the most, like, pure things in the world. You really, you can do whatever you want with it, and it's, I don't know, it's a beautiful thing.
It is.
And I do find it therapeutic as well, there's nothing I'd rather be doing, really, than playing music or going to a show or anything like that, so I think if people can look forward to just being like, hell yeah, I got like the Late Bloomer Band show tonight, if they're excited about it for whatever reason, then, that's really good enough for me.
So, do you guys remember what the most memorable show you went to was?
Went to, like, as a viewer?
As a viewer, yeah.
That's hard. that's really hard. One of the best shows I have seen in a while was when the Mars Volta came to Ram's Head, and that was just like a perfect. I didn't know they won the Grammy for best performance. Did you know that? Like best live show. I didn't even know there was a Grammy for the best live performance.
Grammy for that either.
But there is one, and they won it.
I don't even think I realized that.
Awesome. Yeah, and I didn't know. I just found out the other day, but I was like, wow, that's so great that like a real band gets it.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. So that was one of the best shows I've ever seen for sure. One of the
I had to go in the best five. I'd be the best one.
I know best one.
Alright, what's the top five?
Top five.
P-Funk 76, Madison Square Garden.
That's probably good.
Yeah, that's about that.
Miles Davis, 86, Oakland Paramount Theater.
It's probably so.
Bob Marley. Bob Marley, Madison Square Garden, 83. No. Excuse me. Bob Marley, Madison Square Garden, 79. Excuse me, 79. Right out of high school. 79. I graduated 78, so 79, a year out of high school. Madison Square Garden. How many was that? 4?
That was 4.
And Sunrise, Mabuhay Gardens in San Francisco.
That's good.
Wow.
Right. So I'm only 24, so that's all.
Yeah, can't really touch that, but I don't know. I saw Jamiroquai one time in Atlantic City, and they were like just like the tightest band I've ever seen perform.
That was a good show.
Everything was just like, it was just so, I don't know, perfect. It was like the most perfect sounding live band I'd ever heard, and I mean, and I love their music too. But recently I saw the Gorillaz in October, and they just, I mean, in addition to like a ridiculous light show and, you know, 1 million people being on stage, they had animation and cartoons in between songs. I mean, that's a big part of the Gorillaz thing. But, you know, a huge band, all these guests coming out all the time, and I was just like, wow, this is really like, you know, someone's got their whole fucking vision laid out for me, you know, it was just so inspiring, like, seeing just that whole production.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean.
It almost like, not that I needed faith to be restored in live music or anything, but I left that show being like, I'm a believer in
I
the
was
power
floored.
of
We
that.
were out covering that show
Yeah.
and I just was amazed by
Can I
that
tell you something though?
production.
It was
I'm
incredible.
sitting there thinking about it, but the only band that really make me feel like that shit is my band.
Is your band?
I swear to God, it's true.
Yeah.
The band I got right now is the meanest band for me. Everybody else just ain't doing that much for me. That's why I had to do this.
Well, I mean, that's true. And a lot of times artists are
I
trying
mean, I'm glad
to...
I feel that way about my band and
Yeah.
shit.
Of course, if you didn't,
feel
that would be
Yeah,
a problem.
right, yeah,
Right.
My band is just
You know, I think that listeners too are always looking for something different and something that's real and honest, and that's what's lacking so much in the industry now. Like, trying to find that is really difficult. It's a challenge. So, what are your hopes? Where do you hope to take the band?
You know, as far as we can take it. I mean, we all would love to tour, and that's very near in our future. This summer we're going to be on Warped Tour with a different project, but it's still this band. And we just want to. That's all we want to. I mean, we want to keep touring. We want to keep playing shows. We want to play for as many people as possible. That's it, and push this combination of original music and other sort of like, you know, we do like Gil Scott-Heron tunes from time to time and little things, and you know, we just want to show it to as many people as possible. I think that's the only goal, and just to, you know, constantly express.
So I know you have an upcoming show coming up in Delaware here for Gable Music Ventures. It's their original music showcase. So how did you guys get involved with that? And it's portion of the proceeds goes to Variety Children's Network, correct?
So that's cool.
Yeah.
I've known Jeremy since I was in 8th grade, and he basically, I mean, we've been in touch. He's, you know, one of my best friends. We've been in touch for a really, really long time, and we just constantly chatting music. And so, you know, he knows I've been playing. He came back here. He was in California for a little while, so now he's back here doing this show thing, and he hit us up because he knows that we're trying to get out here. And I mean, we're just trying to get out really everywhere.
Yeah.
So, you know, really just my buddy Jeremy helping us out.
He sold us on the show too, because he called us more. You know, some people would just be like, "Hey, you want to play the show?
Yeah.
Hey, you want to do this thing?" He was just like really enthusiastic the entire time.
It's good when
absolutely.
It's good when promoters believe in the artists and the cause of the music, and they're not like,
It's not like, oh yeah, this is gonna be come play with 5 bands for 20 people.
sell
for
100 tickets and
Yeah.
you'll
Well,
get
it's
dollar
rare
tickets.
too that you
Yeah.
see where
Yeah.
it gives back to something, and sometimes it's just a showcase, or it's a record label showcase, or it's some kind of thing like that. And it's great to hear it's given back to charity too.
Yeah, for sure.
Always.
I mean, a chance to, you know, give our art to some people and help other people out, and it's a win-win.
Yeah,
as far as
we're all
I'm
about that too.
concerned.
Like the Reds used to do these, shows that would just be either for benefits or for causes or for groups, or there's something besides just play a random show in the city, which is cool. But group it with like our good friend Damien, who does like just a ton of just like promoting like local good, like the Baltimore Bucks thing.
Yeah.
He's been huge on that.
Peanuts.
Yeah. Are you familiar with that at all?
No.
Baltimore. So there's this thing where local businesses, just to dive into it because we're, we like supporting other people's stuff. So like the local stores in Baltimore, they want you to shop there instead of say go to like one of the major chains like Walmart or something. So you got Baltimore Bucks. So like.
It's called B-Note, actually.
B-Note, see, there you go. The hit new B-Note.
And it looks better than American Money.
Right, and you get a 10% discount. That's the thing. Anywhere you go, it's like you get $11 for your $10. So it's cool. It's just promote, and only local businesses take it, obviously, because Walmart's not going to take a B-Note. And so it's just encouraging you to like go to your local businesses and support. So we would play shows to like support his causes. And
did you guys do anything with Record Store Day and stuff? I know that's always like a big thing to try to support. Like,
I bought records.
Yeah,
I spent $60 on records that day, and I was in Albany in my girlfriend's hometown, and I was like, I have to go to a record store today. I mean, I buy records all the time anyway, but that's what I did to support Record Store Day. Yeah.
For the grim.
So